Have you ever sent a postcard to your friends or family living far away from you? I'm sure you must have. But have you ever thought of sending one to the moon? Well, back in 1959, the Soviets did something way cooler. Hello, and welcome to Behind the Date. Today is September 13th, and it isn't just another day. It's the day when humankind first made contact with the moon in 1959. In today's video, we will be uncovering all about Luna 2, the first human-made object to reach the moon. Why this mission was more than just a crash, and what this event left behind for the world. But before we get started, make sure you rocket launch that like button. As the 1950s rolled on, there was a silent but intense competition brewing between the two superpowers, the United States and the Soviet Union. It was the intense period of the Cold War. Both the US and the USSR were in a constant race of trying to prove themselves better and superior to the other. But this race wasn't just limited to Earth. It went way beyond. That's where the Luna 2 comes in. In a bold attempt by the Soviet Union to try and prove their position in space technology. While many associate the moon with the US due to the famous Apollo landing, it was actually the Soviet Union that achieved the first lunar touchdown. Luna 2 was the first human-made object to touch another celestial body, a massive win for Team USSR on the scoreboard of the space race. The satellite didn't have cameras or advanced instruments, so what exactly was its mission? As simple as it sounds, it was just to reach the moon. For the Soviets, Luna 2 was a symbol of their pride and skill, proving to the world that they were strong competitors both on Earth and in space. Okay, so let's get into all the juicy details about the Luna 2. So we are traveling back to the late 1950s. Tech back then was a baby compared to our fancy gadgets today. Yet the Soviet Union dreamt big and quite literally aimed for the moon. How wild is that? This tiny spacecraft was launched on September 12th and crashed on the moon's surface on September 13th and became the first human-made object to touch the moon. It traveled around 238,855 miles in just 36 hours. That's like circling the Earth almost 10 times. Isn't that so crazy? And you'd think after such a long journey, Luna 2 might have gone to the moon empty-handed. Nope. This little spacecraft, weighing only around 866 pounds, released spherical pennants upon colliding with the moon. These spherical pennants were metal spheres with the Soviet coat of arms. They were intended to be symbolic flags or markers showing that the USSR had reached the moon. But how would the scientists on Earth know whether the Luna 2 had reached the moon or not? This is where their simple signal mechanism came into play. As Luna 2 journeyed towards the moon, it was equipped to send back signals to Earth. These signals were simple and consistent, like a heartbeat. The Soviet scientists planned the mission such that the Luna 2's signals would go silent upon impact. So, the very absence of the signal would be the message itself. Once the rhythmic pulses stopped, it was clear Luna 2 had reached the moon. When Luna 2 landed on the moon, it made huge news all around the world. For Russia, it was like scoring a big goal during the Cold War. Everyone in the country was talking about it, singing songs, and kids dreamed of flying to space one day. But not all of it was a happy story. While scientists thought it was super cool, many were worried, especially in the West. The realization hit hard. If the USSR could send a satellite to the moon, they could potentially send missiles anywhere on Earth. The Luna 2 did more than just land on the moon. It started a chain of cool space missions by Russia. Not long after, Luna 3 took the first pictures of the hidden side of the moon. For everyone on Earth, Luna 2 showed that space wasn't just for aliens or sci-fi movies. It redefined what was possible, and soon, astronauts were walking on the moon. So remember, every time you gaze up at the moon, there's a little piece of 1959 history that still rests there, reminding us of the limitless boundaries of human potential. Speaking of monumental achievements that shook the world, let's talk about a game changer that has changed our lives only for the better, and that is the birth of the internet. Want to dive deep into the story of the internet? Then go check out my next video. Make sure you're subscribed to Behind the Date for more captivating stories, mind-boggling facts, and insane adventures. Let's quench your curiosity and make every day exciting and extraordinary.